Dear students, today we will be learning the properties of modulus and amplitude of a complex number. Also, we learned the polar form and exponential form of the complex numbers. First, we learned the properties of modulus of a complex number. If Z1, Z2, Z3 are complex numbers, then modulus of Z equal to 0 means Z equal to 0. That means real part of Z equal to imaginary part of Z is equal to 0. If both real part and imaginary part 0 means it's a 0 complex number, then its modulus also will be 0. Now, modulus of Z minus Z, Z conjugate and minus Z conjugate are equal, and minus of Z conjugate less than or equal to real part of Z less than or equal to modulus of Z, and minus of Z conjugate is less than or equal to imaginary part of Z, which is less than or equal to modulus of Z, and Z into Z conjugate is equal to modulus of Z whole square. Similarly, modulus of Z1, Z2 is equal to modulus of Z1 into modulus of Z2. Sixth one, modulus of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to modulus of Z1 divided by modulus of Z2, where Z2 should not be 0. And seventh, modulus of Z1 plus Z2 is less than or equal to modulus of Z1 plus modulus of Z2. And eighth one, modulus of Z1 plus Z2 the whole square is equal to modulus of Z1 square plus modulus of Z2 square plus 2 into real part of Z1 into Z2 conjugate. And Z1 minus Z2 the whole square, modulus of Z1 minus Z2 the whole square is equal to modulus of Z1 square plus modulus of Z2 square minus 2 into real part of Z1 into Z2 conjugate. Next, modulus of Z1 plus Z2 the whole square plus modulus of Z1 minus Z2 the whole square is equal to 2 into modulus of Z1 square plus modulus of Z2 square, as these two terms will get cancelled. Now, modulus of A into Z1 minus B into Z2 the whole square plus modulus of B into Z1 plus A into Z2 the whole square is equal to A square plus B square into modulus of Z1 whole square plus modulus of Z2 the whole square, where A and B are real numbers. Properties of arguments or amplitude of a complex number. First one, argument of Z1 into Z2, where Z1 and Z2 are two complex numbers. Then argument of Z1 into Z2, that is a product of two complex numbers, is equal to argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2, and argument of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to argument of Z1 minus argument of Z2. Third one, argument of Z plus argument of Z conjugate is equal to 0, and argument of Z into Z conjugate is equal to 0. That is, sum of the arguments of Z and Z conjugate, also product of Z and Z conjugate, argument of Z and Z conjugate is equal to 0. Then argument of Z conjugate is equal to minus argument of Z is equal to argument of 1 upon Z. These all quantities are equal. And if argument of Z is equal to 0, then Z is real number. Next one, polar form of a complex number. Let the complex number Z is equal to A plus IB can be represented by the point AB that we have already learnt. That is geometrical representation of a complex number we learnt. AB, that is the real part and imaginary part, are considered as an ordered pair which will be a point in the plane. And consider the first quadrant where PAB is the point corresponding to the complex number Z is equal to A plus IB. Then let measure of angle XOP, that is XOP is the measure of angle or measure of rotation, we can say, towards the positive direction, and that is equal to theta, which is equal to tan inverse B upon A, and length of OP is equal to R. With this theta, that is argument or amplitude, also we learned. Amplitude is equal to tan inverse B upon A. and length of OP is equal to R. It is OP, the distance between the origin to the point P, that is equal to R or modulus of Z. R is equal to root of A square plus B square greater than 0. That is, it's a distance, so it should be greater than 0. Then we represent P of ordered pair R theta are called the polar coordinates of P. That is, R is the distance from origin to the point and theta is the argument. Then we can represent, that is P of R theta. Then it's called polar coordinates of the point P. In polar coordinate system, the origin O is called the pole. And as we know from the definition of argument or amplitude of a complex number, A is equal to R cos theta and B is equal to R sin theta. Therefore, Z is equal to A plus IB becomes Z is equal to R cos theta plus I into R sin theta. So, R is common in both the terms. So, taken out, then R into cos theta plus I sin theta. This is called the polar form of complex number. Z is equal to A plus IB. Then exponential form. We know e raised to I theta. We can prove that e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. We don't want the proof of this, but just keep in mind that e raised to I theta can be written as cos theta plus I sin theta. Therefore, Z is equal to A plus IB becomes R into cos theta plus I into sin theta is equal to R into e raised to I theta. R into e raised to I theta, because the polar form is Z is equal to R into cos theta plus I sin theta. Then cos theta plus I sin theta can be written as e raised to I theta. So, R into e raised to I theta, where R is the modulus of Z and Z is equal to argument of Z. Then R into e raised to I theta is called the exponential form of complex number, where e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Now we will start solving the sums of exercise 1.3. Question number 1. Find the modulus and amplitude for the following complex numbers. First question, 7 minus 5i. So we'll write the given complex number first, and which is of the form a plus ib. So a is 7 here and b is minus 5. Then modulus is defined as R is equal to root of a square plus b square, which is equal to root of a is 7. So 7 square plus b is minus 5. So minus b the whole square, minus 5 the whole square. So 7 square 49 plus minus 5 square 25. So 49 plus 25 root of 74. And let theta is the amplitude, then theta is defined as tan inverse b upon a, where b is minus 5 and a is 7. So tan inverse minus 5 upon 7. 4 minus 3 into 1 minus I. Given complex number, we will write in the form of a plus ib, that is minus 3. Open this bracket, you will get minus 3 plus 3i, where a is minus 3 and b is 3. Then modulus of z is equal to r is equal to root of a square plus b square, then root of minus 3 the whole square plus 3 square, that is root of 9 plus 9, root of 18, or we can write this as 3 root 2. On prime factorization, you will get root 18 as 3 root 2. Then let theta is the amplitude, then theta can be defined as tan inverse b upon a, where b is minus 3 upon, b is 3 upon minus 3, that is minus 1, tan inverse minus 1. Since a is negative and b is positive, theta lies in the second quadrant and tan inverse pi upon 4 is 1. So, we will write amplitude theta is equal to pi upon 2 plus pi upon 4 theta. 3 pi upon 4, or by definition given or by the values, table values we have already learned, that is in which quadrant the value of, in each quadrant the value of theta and the formula used for theta. In second quadrant, theta is equal to tan inverse b upon a plus pi, and tan inverse minus 1 is equal to tan inverse 1 is pi upon 4, that is at 45 degree tan has the value 1 and it is minus 1, so we will take minus pi upon 4 plus pi. On simplification we will get as 3 pi upon 4. Remaining sums of question number 1 are similar to the sum solved and you can solve yourself. And question number 2, find the real values of theta for which 4 plus 3i sin theta upon 1 minus 2i sin theta is purely real. Let z is equal to the given complex number in quotient form, and we will remove the imaginary part from the denominator by multiplying the conjugate of multiplying the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator, that is 1 plus 2i sin theta upon 1 plus 2i sin theta, and open these two terms, that is brackets 4 plus 3i into sin theta into 1 plus 2i into sin theta. When expanding we will get 4 plus 8i sin theta plus 3i sin theta plus 6i square sin square theta divided by a complex number and its conjugate is 1 into 1 square minus, that is the square of real part plus square of imaginary part, or you can use a minus b into a plus b also, formula also, identity a square minus b square, from that also same. Here a square minus b square formula is used. So 1 square 1 minus imaginary part is the second term is 2i sin theta. So 2 into 2 4 I square sin square theta, that is a square minus b square. And simplify the numerator, will get 4 plus 11 sin theta into I minus 6 sin square theta, because I square is minus 1. So minus 6 sin square theta divided by again I square minus 1. So this is 1 plus 4 sin square theta. Now 4 minus 6 sin square theta is the real part because it does not contain I, and 11 sin theta is the imaginary part. So divided by 1 plus 4 sin square theta. Therefore, z is equal to, now we will split or separate the denominator for each term, that is 4 minus 6 sin square theta upon 1 plus 4 sin square theta plus 11 sin theta upon 1 plus 4 sin square theta into I. Now given that z is purely real, means imaginary part of z is equal to 0. That means 11 sin theta upon 1 plus 4 sin square theta is equal to 0. And sin theta is equal to 0, then sin into n pi. N can be a n is any integer, that is n is equal to 0. If you substitute, you will get 0 into pi 0. Sin 0 we know it is 0. Also sin pi, if n equal to 1, then you will get sin pi. Sin pi means sin 180. Sin 180 is also 0. And if you take n is equal to 2, then it is 360. That is again come to the initial arm. Again sin pi equal to 0. Sin 2 pi equal to 0. And sin 3 pi equal to 0. That is this value of theta comes on the real axis. Positive direction as well as negative direction. Both values are 0. So we can say theta is equal to n pi, where n is the integer. N is an integer. So theta is equal to n pi. If z is equal to 3 plus 5i, then represent the z conjugate minus z conjugate in argand diagram. Now we will first find z conjugate minus z and minus z conjugate corresponding to the complex number z is equal to 3 plus 5i. Now minus z is obtained by multiplying z by minus 1. So both real and imaginary parts are multiplied with minus 1 and we get minus z as minus 3 minus 5i. And z conjugate is obtained by reversing the sign of imaginary part, then we will get 3 minus 5i. and negative z conjugate is obtained by multiplying z conjugate with minus 1. Then we get minus z conjugate as minus 3 plus 5i. And the points corresponding to each complex number we will find. First one z. Z is 3 plus 5i. Then corresponding point on the plane is ordered pair 3, 5. And both are positive means the point lies in the first quadrant. And minus z is minus 3 minus 5. Then the corresponding point is ordered pair minus 3 minus 5 means both are negative, so lies in the third quadrant. And z conjugate is 3 minus 5 means real part, or A is positive and B is negative. A positive and B negative in the fourth quadrant. So 3 ordered pair 3 minus 5 is the point corresponding to z conjugate. And then last one, minus z conjugate is equal to minus 3 plus 5i. Corresponding point is minus 3, ordered pair minus 3 comma 5. And A is, or the real part is negative and imaginary part is positive. So the ordered pair minus 3, 5 is in the second quadrant. Now the remaining sums are solved in the next video. Thank you.